Hey Kingdom, can you beat Dragons Dogma 2 in a single shot? And I don't mean using Martyr's Bolt as Magic Archer, because you still need to level up a little bit as Magic Archer and get a little bit of gear. So today I'm starting a new game to find out is it really possible to beat Dragons Dogma 2 in a single hit. And here is the problem. To beat the game we need to advance the storyline, and to advance the storyline we need to beat some enemies while doing quests. And I need to find ways to defeat enemies without ever attacking them, because single hit I'm available to do in this playthrough is only on last boss. And I started by making a dude with really long legs, because 99% of this run will be running, and long legs will definitely help me. Game starts in excavation site, and there's definitely not a lot of troubles in here. We just need to pick some stones here and there, and that's all quests, until Gargona arrives. And now the question, can I defeat Medusa in 0 hits? And it's done really well, look. I just go and run away from this furious beast and quest is kinda done. Medusa is really mad that we don't want to fight with her and she ran away, same as we are. So leap of fate, and our hero is already running on a beach. Considering I got only one single hit for full playthrough, I'm not wasting any time and just running straight to the camp. So I guess it's self-explanatory why I'm not fighting any goblins and just running through. Until I arrive at the first camp, where I can create my pawn, but we don't need pawn on this run, so pawn goodbye lady. And I'm going straight to Malv. And also I'm making sure to get every loot on my way. But who cares about loot when we got first dream encounter in Malv? I decided to be strict on my rules and I can't use a hit because a hit right now won't end the game, it will just continue the story. So I decided to go around and I found some cracks in the wall that gave me access to the back of the dragon and also to the exit of this village, so I just tried to run away and we defeated this dragon in 0 hits again. Next day, after looting full village, I need to go to Vernwort, but I can't get access to there completely free, so we need to be escorted by guards. Watching how guards defeat the goblins is really boring task, so I just pick up the guard and went with him straight to the gates, because only this guard got permission to go through the gates. And after gates are opened, I'm completely free to go straight to Vernwort. And on the way there's a lot of ruins where I can go jump to secret cellars and get a lot of gold. There's always a secret cellar in the ruins with nice amount of gold in the chest. But how to get to Vernwort if I got no permission to enter the town? Funnily enough, it's pretty easy, I just going straight through, got stopped by the guards and continue my way. And cutscene arrives, we are free to enter and to roam around the city. And there's a lot of places where you can get a lot of loot in the city without ever fighting to sell this loot later. And also a lot of fairy stones, in case we need to teleport a little bit later in the game. This road, by the way, takes about 5 minutes. And if you want to learn it, watch my one-shot Magic Archer video. After this one, I will leave a link in the end of the video and in the description. And this video takes a lot of time and effort to make, so take a few seconds and drop a like. It helps a lot, and let's continue to the next evening where I met Captain Brent. This guy advances storyline and he got a large variety of quests. Coolest part, I can take all of 3 of them at one time and just start making them all at once. Most quests just require for you to go into the kingdom, into the palace, follow some guards and do a little bit of just spying, talking and getting information. Hardest part is probably getting masquerade clothes that cost around 300k at trader, but we can enter this masquerade hall before even masquerade starts and go to the last room where is the chest with these clothes completely free. And other quests that require you to go inside the castle, you can disguise yourself as guard by just getting all guard armor from the first chest you encounter in the first room. So there's entirely zero problem to going through this part of the plot. But there's one single quest that require you to actually clear some monsters in the dungeons and on the fields. Monster culling. So how can I do this quest without single attack? There's 3 zones that we need to clear. First one nearby of Nameless Village, where we need to protect the shipment. Guards are nicely armed over here, so I just ran around the goblins, took some aggression, and guards really easily finished them all. I picked up some goblins every now and then, so guards can freely attack them, but overall there is no problem in this segment. Next part is a little bit more tricky. I need to go into Trevor Mine that just flooded with goblins. Inside the dungeons there is not a lot of place where we can run and evade attacks, and it's just basically a little bit more tricky task than previous one. But the really good part over here is that guards is still very heavily armed, they got nice skills, abilities, and they can stamp for themselves pretty nicely. So just by taking some goblin aggression on myself, I won a lot of time for guards to finish off the smaller goblins and then taking over the large one. And now really tricky part, Half Village. There will be a lot of lizards, and if you know, lizards are really tough enemies. They fast, they can run away, they can evade attacks, and also they are really beefy, they get nice protection from the front and you should attack at the back, but guards are not so smart. But my strategy was the same. I took some aggression from lizards, brawled them a little bit, a little bit of wrestling, and whenever guard managed to knock down lizard, I just took them in my hands, and guards got nice and free attacks on him. So after a few minutes we managed to deal with 2 lizards. But unlike previous locations, there's another part of this dungeon that we need to clear. But here's the tricky part. Right now we got only one guard. He is completely without weapons, so he can't stand for himself. And I still need to defeat like 3 or 4 lizards without single attack. So how to do it? Lizards destroyed the guard really fast, and I left alone. Still I need to defeat them even though there is no one to save right now. I almost surrendered on this task, but then one lizard jumped on me and dropped down. And you guess what? He took a lot of damage from this drop. And my strategy was to take a hit on the edge of the cliff and then threaten lizard with my knuckles. He always trying to evade and drop down. And after a few minutes of doing this loop, all lizards are defeated. So I report back to Captain Brand and went straight to Bagbatal. Instead of using border pass, I decided to take a road through the dungeon and this cave, Guerco Cavern, and there is only goblins in this cave, so that's pretty easy and fast way to get to Bagbatal. So until now there was only one single quest that actually require us to beat any enemies. And Bagbatal is no different. Mostly I just run left and right and doing bring this, bring that quests. Until finally getting this exact quest, where I need to get Worm's Life Crystal to upgrade Blade. So what's the problem? To get these crystals I need to defeat Dragon, and to defeat Dragon I need to do some sort of attacks, because I can't push him off the cliff like lizards. But there is some Worm's crystals that I can find in the open, and I already found 5 in the Dragonforge cavern on the beach. But that's not enough, because I need 15, so that's big problem for my challenge. But that's only unless you find out why I looted every single chest I found and why I'm still in my trousers without a single item equipped. And that's because on the way to Bernward there's a little triangle crossroads. It's really nice and beautiful place, but most importantly there is a lady trader over here, and when we talk with her, she is selling Worm's Life crystals for 5k gold. So all this time when I was completing quests, I went into this place every now and then, and you basically see the marker on my minimap all the time. And by selling everything I got until this point, I got enough gold to get as much worm crystals as I need to get empowered Godsbane Blade and finally continue my story. That leads into fight versus big Colossus. Still fun part, we don't even need to fight versus him, we can just stand still and wait. And that's what I done, and guards will eventually finish him off, so you don't need to fight him and your opponents don't need to participate either. But after this part, we finally get into the last fight of the game. But before this last fight, there's one more fight, when you're facing lots of enemy pawns. I still haven't hit at least one enemy, not a single shot. So instead fighting with these pawns, I decided to run in the circle around the area. Pawns protecting stairs to the evil guy. but for some reason I don't even need to try and go fight them. Instead I climbed from the back right onto the stairs and there's cutscene over here, after which we can accept a fight versus dragon. But now you may question yourself how I will defeat this dragon when I get no gear at all. This fight doesn't look really promising until you realize that before attempting final part of the game I went into the beach onto Dragon Forge. And because I bought a lot more dragon crystals than 15, I got some to buy on making arrow and switched my class to archer. So now I'm only equipping on making arrow, which will kill instantly, and getting ready to make my first and final hit. I am slain. And that's how you beat Dragon Dogma in one single shot. I hope you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe and see you in the next videos, guys.